Welcome to my video. I'm not even gonna front. I tried to film this. I don't even freaking know how many times yesterday I like changed outfits. I was cute, I had lipstick, and then I was like, screw this. It's too much, like it's overwhelming AF. And then also I waited till my roommate left because I get shy and I can't like be myself. So first off, I want to say why I'm even doing this video in the first place, because all my haters on Reddit don't read your comments. My friends let me know to shout out. You guys are like, oh my god, why is she bringing this up? Like, it's been 2 years. So obvious, a couple weeks ago, Morgan kind of dropped some very large bombs about her relationship with Evan. I wasn't going to address it. Morgan actually had been asking me to do a YouTube for months, almost since the time that she moved here in February, I believe it was. And I've said no. But then the more I thought about it and the more DMs I was getting and comments, I don't really want you guys to think that I was just like okay and like staying in an abusive relationship for 10 years, because that's like the vibe I'm getting. They're like, how did she deal with all of that for 10 years? Like, so that's definitely something I want to clarify. And I just feel like after all the hate I got, because I was called every name in the book, bitter, scorned, gaslighter, psychopath, obsessive, manipulative. I mean, like the list goes on, and that doesn't even get into the body shaming, horse teeth, she's ugly, she can't get with any of those guys. I mean, like, it's crazy. So I just want to kind of share what I dealt with after the show, because, and I feel like naturally things from before the show will come up, but I basically just made a list of like lies that I found out about after TI, because they're crazy, and I want to make it very clear the reason why it lasted 10 years. First off, I've said this from the beginning, we met when we were 19 years old, right before he was going to USC on a full ride to play basketball. We went to the same middle school briefly. We went to rival high schools. We didn't know each other though. We met when we were 19. We tried to date, didn't work out. I don't know if any of you guys have tried to date a college athlete. It's a kind of a nightmare. So we, from like 2009 to 2012, we were very on and off. We would date other people. I had boyfriends, he had girlfriends, and then we would like break up with them, get back together, whatnot. 2012 is when his dad died. Horrific tragedy. I'll like never take that away from him, never talk down on that. That really made a change in Evan, because 3 months before, well, right when his dad's stuff happened, I was very there for him, very supportive, with his family almost every day, giving out flyers with my dad like at night, picking him up from school, bringing him back to Calabasas. I mean, very involved. And he did kind of what he did on TI, not even kind of, he did the same thing that he did on TI. This was in 2012, the summer of 2012. He, like, what we, as his friends and family and myself, had like a full-blown like psychotic breakdown, and like moved to Washington and dated this like random volleyball player for like 3 months who we barely knew. So that's why when I saw what was happening on TI, I've seen this before. Like, it's a pattern. Like, he's literally done this. Like, he has breakdowns and like starts a whole new life. So in the summer of 2012, I kicked him out of my life completely. And then on his birthday, August 10th, my friends were like, you know what? Like, maybe you should reach out to Evan. Like, he's going through a lot. He's clearly not himself. Like, just reach to say happy birthday. So I did, and he texted me back immediately. He had been texting me for months, and I'd been ignoring him. And he texted me back immediately, and I noticed a big change in him, especially when we hung out, because I went to go see him. He was very, very different. He was almost a gentleman. He was very loving. He was very affectionate. He was very kind. He wasn't, like Morgan said, like he gets in fights all the time in public. He wasn't being aggressive like that. It was very, very different Evan. And at that point was when we became exclusive, like 3 weeks after I reached out to him on his birthday. So from 2012 until like 2 years before TI, 3 years before TI, things were actually very good. We were best friends. Things were good. He definitely had a lying problem. I didn't realize the magnitude of the lying problem until after TI. So 2 to 3 years before we filmed TI, I turned, I think it was like 26, 27, and something like really changed in me. I just like got my shit together. I got like a full-time job. I'm like running Gap stores in Hawaii and California. Like I opened the brand new Gap at Century City Mall. Like I'm like high up in management. I'm killing it. I have a good job. I said that a lot. I want to like really stress that I hustled, because that's the thing that pisses me off the most, is some of the lies that he told people, that I did nothing, sat at home all day, and like, oh, it drives me nuts. So anyways, I hustled and I worked my ass off. I got my shit together, got my own apartment, moved out. Sorry, my dog's crazy. And I started expecting him to now be an adult. Like, it's been years after your dad. I gave you a pass to grieve, get through that. But like, we're adults now. If we want to be together, we need to be working. We need to be both paying equal on the bills, like 50-50. One moment. Okay, sorry about that. Had to go give my puppy a bone. Okay, so yeah, when I was like 26, 27, there was a big change in me. And I want to preface, like, this is the analogy my dad gives, because one of the biggest things that I struggled with after the show, I was so disappointed and embarrassed, like, with myself, because I'm like, how did I get in this situation? And like, I'm smart, like, I'm confident, I love myself, like, I look so meek and weak and obsessive and like emotional over this piece of shit human, and I don't understand because he didn't treat me right. It was a very slow process. So my dad says it's like a frog in boiling water. When I first met Evan, the water was like not boiling. It was normal. And then slowly over time, it was turning up a notch. And then TI, I was like, actually even after TI, it was like boiling, and I'm like, what the fuck am I in? So during college, it was normal for him to not have a job. I don't know if any of you guys know what it's like to be a Division I NCAA athlete that plays for USC on a full ride. That is your job. Like, he couldn't have a job. Like, school and hooping was his job. And then his dad happened, so I'm not gonna like get on his ass to get a job then. So then when I was 26, 27 is when I really was like, okay, things need to change. And that is when the gaslighting and mental and emotional abuse started, because he knew I wasn't the same person that I was when I met him. I wasn't gonna put up with bullshit anymore and just like kind of like let him get away with things and enable him. So yeah, it was crazy. I'm not gonna get into what my like whole life was with him, but let's just say I'm a very confident person. Like, everyone that meets me, I just like bring energy to the room, and I'm not even saying that to like pump myself up right now, but like, I'm funny, I'm bubbly, like I make everybody laugh, I'm kind to everyone. I just have like a light about me, and I'm proud to say that. So I don't even care if that sounds like I'm like talking really great about myself, because I'm a fucking awesome person. So that was very threatening to Evan, not just my personality, but the fact that I like had a full-time job. I was starting my own business that was actually profitable, and I was asking him to man up and like, let's be adults. So my friends and my family said it got to the point where they could tell I was not myself anymore. It was like my dad describes it, like it was like underneath my clothes, there was like a ticking time bomb that nobody could see, because I just was not myself. Like, I was very careful. I was very, my anxiety was out of control. I couldn't eat in front of Evan. He would slam doors, punch holes into walls, get in fights with strangers on the street, to the point that like he's on the floor literally beating the shit out of someone, and his AirPods are flying out of his ears on like Figueroa in downtown LA, and I'm like catching the AirPods. There's blood everywhere. I'm upset. We have to like go in a grocery store bathroom to like wipe the blood off of him. Like, he spit on me after a Christmas party, recorded it, and tried to say that it was my fault. I mean, these are just like small things that happened from like the 2 to 3 years before TI. I knew in my heart and my gut that something was very, very wrong. And I started Googling sociopathy, narcissism, psychopaths, gaslighting, and I would read things and they would resonate with me because I was like, holy shit, like I've experienced that. But then Evan was like so in my head and I was like so brainwashed by that point that I was convincing myself like, no, Casey, like your anxiety's out of control. Like, remember, like Evan says your anxiety's crazy, you're overthinking, you're being too much, you're exhausting, like chill out, stop Googling, what are you doing? Like, he was so in my head. I would try to break up with him and he would start sobbing uncontrollably, put his head in my lap. He would threaten to hurt himself. And for me, like, I have a very big heart and I'm very sensitive, especially when it comes to people that I love. He knew that I wouldn't leave and I wouldn't give up on him. He took advantage of my kindness 100%. The February before TI, we filmed in September of 2018, February 2018. We actually shared an iPad and he was at the gym or something and I just like opened up the iPad, I think to watch Netflix or something, I don't know. And it opened into his like Instagram DMs. Like literally it was like a God moment. I did not search, I did not try to find these things. And there was like, I don't even know how many messages, 40 to 60 messages. And this was before we were public figures, like when we had like no followers, like of just women all over everywhere. Like it was crazy. I was like hot, I couldn't breathe. So then I started digging and I saw all sorts of shit that I was just like, holy fuck. Like he was like FaceTiming his ex, who he told me was like a psycho and like stalks him, all sorts of crazy shit. So I went to work and I just sent him one text and I was like, we're over. Like I found everything in the iPad. Like I need you to get Ghost. I need you to get your things and you need to be out. You have 3 days to move out. He had a full blown breakdown, calling me at work, sobbing, threatening things. It was bad. Really, really bad. And I had to leave work early because I was worried about him. I come home and that is when the infamous ultimatum happened. He was basically on his like hands and knees begging me not to break up with him, not to leave him. He was saying he knows he needs help. He knows that he's sick. He has demons. That's his favorite thing to say. I have demons inside of me. I'll do anything you want. I cannot lose you. You're my everything. Da da da. So I laid down the law in a very serious manner. I was like, this is how it's gonna work. And this was right before Valentine's Day. I was like, I don't want you coming near me. I don't want you being affectionate with me. We're not doing anything for Valentine's Day. You need to get a full-time job. I don't care where it is. I don't care if it's at McDonald's. I don't care if it's at a gym. I don't give a fuck as long as you have a full-time job. You need to pay 50-50 of the bills. Like I'm not paying for your health insurance. I'm not paying for all the groceries. Like you need to pay half of everything. And then I also said that this behavior that I found, if I don't even need proof at that point, if I just like think that some shit's going down, done, you're on the street. And I had that power. Evan knew that because I was the provider. I was the one that paid everything. His mom Venmoed me $400 a month for rent, like literally. I have proof of it on my Venmo receipts. So that's when the ultimate, and then I said, my birthday. I was turning 29 on October 7th. This was in February. I said, and I need a real commitment by the time my birthday happens because I'm not wasting my time. Like, this is too much. Like, I've given you so much patience, so much time. Like, enough is enough. And he was like so thankful, so appreciative, and he was a goddamn effing gentleman from that moment on till I left him on TI. Like, we kissed, we left to our different houses. So yeah, I wasn't okay with abuse for 10 years. It happened 2 to 3 years before TI when the abuse started, and I knew it wasn't right, and I tried getting out. But if you're ever in a situation like that and someone's gaslighting you every day and calling you a bitch, condescending, you're exhausting, like no one would want to be with you, I deal with so much, I'm gonna record you, always threatening to record you. I mean, he like full-blown brainwashed me those last few years. Even though deep down my confident, like normal Casey, self-aware self was like, Casey, like, you're not crazy, like, you're being so rational. It's still like, he just fucks with your head. I can't express that. So now I'm just gonna go through the lies that I found out after the show, because it's a lie. I got coffee, my cinnamon coffee. Oh, yes, honey. Okay, so before I get into the lies, I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. It's just like, it is what it is. I can't organize this. It's too fucking batshit insane. There's a plane flying over. I live near an airport, if you couldn't tell. Okay, so after the show, like, I got dumped on TI. It was like crazy traumatic. It was bad, okay? Like, I don't remember a lot of what happened. There's people that were there that have like told me how insane it was. But what you saw on the show doesn't even do it justice, like how bad it actually was. Like, it was gnarly. I don't remember it, a lot of it. I remember being in the car and they drove me through the McDonald's drive-thru, and then they dropped me off in a hotel room by myself. I set my food on the nightstand, and I was like sitting like this. Oh my gosh, that was so loud. I was sitting like this against my headboard, literally from probably 11 o'clock at night till like the sun rose the next day, watching Talladega Nights on E. That was on a marathon repeat. Literally not even really watching the movie, but just Talladega Nights from 11 to like 5:45 in the morning. And then I saw the sun rising and I was like, Casey, you might need to get some sleep. So I went to sleep for like 45 minutes, was stuck in Hawaii the whole next day, alone in a hotel room, without my phone, nothing. Finally did my last interview. They take me back to the hotel. They put me in an Uber, whisk me off to the fucking airport. I've got like 3 gigantic suitcases. When I get to LAX, I had a red-eye flight. I get to LAX, it's like 6 in the morning. I'm not gonna get emotional saying this because it's like hard for me to talk about. When I landed in LAX, I had like all my suitcases, and like I knew at that point like I had to save all my money because I had to like get him out of my house. Like I had shit to handle, so I didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I was trying to figure out like how the hell am I gonna get like all 3 of my suitcases like to an Uber. And I remember like I somehow put like one on the other one and then like used both my arms, and I'm like tiny and I'm like pulling them through the airport. It was like so heavy. And I remember just like in my mind, I kept telling myself like, Casey, like you can do this. Like don't break down. Don't cry in the airport. Like you got this. Like you're strong. You're badass. Like don't let this conquer you. You made it this far. Like you're almost home. And every time in LAX, I fucking think about that. So this fucking guy's a monster. And I did not reach out to him. I ignored him. After the bonfire, once I got my phone, I never texted him, nothing. For me, we were done. He was out. I was never gonna speak to him again. When I got to my apartment, his brother had been watching it, and Evan had been reaching out to me at that point. He wished me happy birthday, ignored the text. He was DMing my friends, he was DMing me, and it got to the point where he's like crying in public. We'll get into that later. And his brother actually was like, Casey, you have to let him come over. Like, you guys have to talk. Like, this is crazy. Like, you guys have an apartment. You have dogs, cats, like a life. Like, you have to let him over. So I let him over, made him sleep on the couch with like no pillow, no blanket. He's like sobbing the whole night. And then we'll get into everything else. But I want to make it very clear that like, one moment, someone's at my door. So the first lie that I want to discuss, I had a fully paid off Toyota RAV4 Sport with like tinted windows, custom rims. I freaking loved the shit out of that car. When we were moving back from Hawaii to LA, I sold that car in order to get us back to LA and like moved in, under the impression that he was going to ship his car over like shortly after. Months would go by and I didn't want to like nag him, and I would bring it up, and he made up this like story that he talked to the dealership in Hawaii, and because he now lives in another state and it's hard to ship, he's gonna like sell it back to the dealership. My intelligent, rational mind was like, that makes absolute no sense. But at that point, I didn't realize the gravity of his pathological lying, so I believed him. Long story short, he stopped paying the payments on his car the second that we moved to LA for months and months and months. His own family member confirmed this. And basically, he had been getting repossession letters, lawsuit letters that were getting mailed to my address after the show because he didn't change his address to Morgan, so I was still getting his mail for like a year. And they were trying to repossess the car, but they just couldn't find it because he lives off the grid in Hawaii in literally the middle of nowhere. And meanwhile, he's telling Morgan that I never owned a car and that I'm irresponsible and I can't drive. I don't have a license to drive. So that's one. So with him in the job situation, out of the entire 10 years that I knew Evan, he worked for 9 months at a restaurant called Wiki Fresh in Hilo, Hawaii. I'm not going to take that away from him. He worked his ass off. He worked like 100-hour weeks. Like, it actually was probably one of the times I was most attracted to Evan because he was like really hustling, and like I saw a side of him that I've never seen before. And like, I'm really into like driven, hustler guys like that work hard, play hard. With that said, the entire time that we lived in LA for almost a year before TI, he was unemployed, living on unemployment. I paid for everything, groceries, dinners out, utilities. His mom would Venmo me $400 a month for rent if he couldn't come up with the $400 from his unemployment. And this part, I have told very few people this, but I actually, that year before TI, not only was I an operations manager for Gap, I also worked at a tanning salon doing spray tans. So one of my typical days was I would wake up at 3 in the morning, sometimes 2, to be at work at 3 or 4 in the morning at Gap. And then I would work till like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And then, because I didn't have a car and he was getting his car repossessed that I didn't know about, I would take a bus from the Century City Mall to Woodland Hills, Miami Tan. If you guys don't appreciate how far that is on a bus, hours. I would get to the tanning salon at 3:30, work till 9 o'clock at night, get on a bus like at 9:30, and I would get home probably like at 11. And then I would get home and he has done absolutely nothing. My apartment's trashed. He's high out of his mind. He ate all of my food that I paid for. I don't even have anything to eat. It was freaking crazy. And I would do this 6 days a week. And I would just like cry at work because of how exhausted I was. And like, I just needed help like so badly. And I literally was like, this isn't normal. Like, this isn't a partnership. But he told me like, I'll make up for it one day. Like, right now you're being strong for me and I'll be strong for you. And you won't have to work when we have kids. And he definitely got in the head. Yeah, and he told people on the show, in the cast, in production, that I was the one sitting at home all day, smoking weed, eating all the food, while he was hustling and being Bitcoin baby. So there's that. Yeah. So I started my own company called Bossy from the ground up, right? I want to say like 7 months before TI. And it was actually like profitable. Like, it was a great idea. It was awesome. I killed it. And I was really, really proud of it. And everyone that loved me was super proud of me. And he never paid for anything for Bossy. He did not pay a dime. He told Morgan and our mutual friends that he gave me $10,000 so I could start Bossy as a hobby. And that it was his company and his LLC. This dude never paid for printer paper. Like, literally not one dime. I think I put him on the website because like he was having an ego trip and like wanted to be involved. The dude did nothing, never gave me a dime. So after TI, I had a lot of women reach out to me, ex-girlfriends of his, freaking girls that we knew from high school, that I always kind of saw liking his pictures, but like didn't think anything of it. And then a girl from, I don't know where she was from, like Sweden or something. She reached out to me. She was totally legit. She showed me proof, but basically he had a 4-year online relationship with this chick through Snapchat and Skype. When I moved to Hawaii for him, gave up my whole freaking life, sold everything that I own, shipped my car, got rid of my apartment, transferred my job, like literally went all in for this dude. Left my family. Like, if you guys know, like, I'm so close with my family. Like, I like left my dad and my mom and was like, I'm gonna go live on an island for the rest of my life. Where was I? Sorry, there's so many notes. So when I moved to Hawaii, he told her, oh yeah, so she had no clue that I even existed. And one day in one of his Snapchats, my cat, Vixen, accidentally got in the frame, like in the background. And she asked him whose cat it was. And he told her that he adopted this cat from the Humane Society. Meanwhile, that's my cat and I live with him. Like, we have a life together. When T.I. rapped, oh, this is crazy. So when T.I. rapped, the second he got his phone, he immediately reached out to this woman and wanted like bikini pics and like thirst traps. She said no because like what the hell, he was just like gone for a month. And he told her that he was on a reality show. He dumped me on the show. He is now single. He is being staged on the East Coast while the show is airing because he doesn't, production doesn't want me and him in the same city. He never brought Morgan up. She didn't find out about Morgan until she watched the show on when it aired. I promised I would never like reveal her name or show screenshots because she's like legit scared of him. So there's that. Let's do like one more. So back to like women reaching out to me. Another woman that Evan and I both know from growing up, like in Calabasas, she reached out to me after the show saying he had been trying to get with her for years, like literally relentlessly. He always told her I was just his friend. And I would not get the point that he didn't want to be with me. He told her I followed him to Hawaii and he didn't want me to be there and I'm completely insane, that he didn't want me there, that I lived alone in the guest house without him and he was in the main house with his family. Not true. We like lived in the guest house, had a whole freaking life. So then when we moved back to LA together, he told her that we were roommates since LA is so expensive and he would try to get her to come over to my apartment while I was working like 18-hour days. But she always knew something was off because she's freaking not a moron. And we're friends now. Like, she lives in Colorado. She's dope. We talk all the time. Love that girl. Oh yeah, we already talked about the infamous ultimatum where he turned it into I'm abusive and manipulative, but it was the other way around. Okay, so this is the spitting on me story. We went to a Christmas party and this was like a year. Here, hang on, I'm gonna shut this door. So yeah, after a Christmas party, when Evan and I were together, we did not drink. We probably had like 2 or 3 drunken nights a year because he couldn't really handle alcohol in college. And when I thought he changed in 2012, we just like didn't drink like that or party like that. But we would like do game nights or like date nights or Christmas parties with our friends. So we were at a Christmas party. He was crazy drunk. I was pretty buzzed too, but not like him at all. And he's already stressed about money because he's not working and I'm paying for everything. he told me he was getting the Uber. It's like 3 a.m. He Ubers us to the nearest train station. And we get out and I'm like, Ev, like, where are we? Like, we have to be going home. And he's like, yeah, we're going to take the train to like save money because the Uber is really expensive. And I was like, Ev, like the train is closed from 2 to 4 a.m. I take the train every day, I know. And I'm very calm, very rational. He loses his mind, like whips out his phone. It's like, I'm gonna fucking record you. You're being a condescending bitch. You need to see how you talk to me. I won't take this from you. You're fucking crazy. All you do is waste money, like going off. And I'm being very calm and I'm like, Evan, I don't know what to tell you. The train is closed. We can't wait here all night, so I'm gonna call an Uber because we need to go home. Screaming, cussing. There was like some other people like down on the corner because it was like a busy part of LA and it's like Saturday night, so clubs just closed, so people are out and about. People are like staring, like it's a scene. And he's recording me. And I'm just calm, not really talking much. Call the Uber, comes up. He's pissed because he sees the Uber come up. He's like, you fucking bitch, da da da. Freaking, I start walking out with Uber and I'm like, Evan, like you can either come in the Uber and like we can go home or you can figure it out. Like, I don't know what you want to do. He comes over, spits on my feet and then gets in the Uber. And we get home, he passes out drunk, we don't speak. The next morning, I purposely set my alarm to wake up really early because I wanted to watch the video. So I went on his phone, sent the video to myself, watched it in the bathroom, and I was blown away. That was one of the times that I actually saw and witnessed him gaslighting me because I was so calm and so rational, and he was like so freaking insane, but telling me that I was like the crazy one. So I woke him up and I was like, this video is one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. This behavior is not okay at all whatsoever. I will not tolerate it because I understand that you are going through a lot and I think you were drunk and had a moment. This is the only time that I'm gonna be okay with this. But if this ever happens again, I'm sending this video to my dad and my brothers because this is insane. And he was like very apologetic. He was very upset with himself. And 2 days later, I checked my phone and he had sometime in that 48 hours deleted the video off my iCloud, everything, it was gone. So there's that. He made me share my location with him and I thought it was for safety purposes because that's what he said. And I kind of got it because like we live in a big city, like we lived a mile from downtown, so I was like, okay. And I like work crazy hours and take the train, so I kind of got it. I was like, yeah, like makes sense. No, he wanted to be aware of my whereabouts constantly because he was cheating all the freaking time. And yeah, that was a really crazy realization. And one thing that was just so nuts to me is I would get off work once I finally left Gap in the tanning salon and I became an executive assistant. I got off work at 6 every day, the same schedule, Monday through Friday. And 6:15, he'd be like, where are you? Like, why aren't you home yet? And it was always like, he was always checking where I was at all times. It was exhausting. And I like walked on eggshells so much with him that there were times that I didn't want to go home after work. I would literally go to Starbucks in downtown LA at the block and get like my favorite coffee drink and like watch Netflix on my phone for like an hour because I literally didn't want to go home to him. So after I got on his ass about jobs, he told me that he had a 24-hour fitness interview at the North Hollywood location. I was at work the whole day. We're sharing our location. So this was what I was, like I said, this was after the ultimatum. I was starting to realize like, yo, this guy has like serious issues. So I was watching his location the whole day. And mind you, I hate that I had to do these things because this is like not the type of like girlfriend I am with like a normal healthy man. Like I'm so confident, like I'll be like, go have a guy's night, go get drunk. Like as long as you like come back home, wake me up, break my back and like let's snuggle, we're good. You know, like I'm very chill. So for me to be like at work watching his location is like very out of character for me. Ugh. But he never left the apartment that day. So I got home and I was just like, hey, how's the interview? He made up the most insane, elaborate story. Because I told him, because he was talking about the people he met, how he waited in the lobby, like all sorts of shit. And I was like, Ev, like, I watched, and I was very calm. I was like, I'm not mad, but I need you to be honest with me because this is a very big lie right now. And like, we need to address like why you're lying, because I watched your location the entire day and called 24 about interviews, and there were no interviews. And he's making a statement that like there's something wrong with our Wi-Fi and the cell phone towers and the service is down, so his location didn't show that he was there. It was just stuck at the house. Crazy, okay? So one thing that he's told people, that he tried to use this to diminish my name is, first off, when I met him when I was 19, I was a very, very different girl. I was not very secure with myself. I was kind of a mean girl. I was kind of a party girl. Definitely had my moments. But there was this one girl in particular that he caused a lot of issues with me and her. He told me that she's a psycho, she's a stalker, she breaks into his apartment in the middle of the night, she's super aggressive, he's never kissed her, she's never touched him, she keyed my car. I mean, like, crazy shit. This girl, after TI, I found out that not only were they like hooking up the whole time me and him were together, but she was like his full-blown girlfriend as well. He was dating and hooking up with both of us at the same exact time. And I guess I was unknowingly his like side chick. So he uses that to make me look bad. By the way, me and that girl, we've talked, we're totally cool. We want to get coffee after this pandemic. We both have apologized to each other.